Today, Little Willows, we're gonna have a very, very difficult task. I wanna keep this as honorable as possible. Obviously, we're having a little fun here, but I decided to choose what are my favorite 5 Bruce Lee kicks of all time. It's not an easy task, like I said, and I'm gonna have to throw in some honorable mentions because I know the comment section is gonna be like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? This is my list, my list. And I will also try to explain why I believe each of the kicks through some technique explanation, very brief, is fantastic. And why I think Bruce Lee is or was ahead of his time. Let's go. The first kick in my list, I'm not gonna tell you just yet. It's not a very effective kick in a fight, especially with a taller athlete like he was throwing it up against, called Robert Baker in Fists of Fury. But Bruce was so fast, yet so relaxed while doing it that I think his abs must have been abs of steel. So strong and so fast twitch in the core that he made it work. Did you notice that Bruce, when he rose up, had this sort of drunk-like expression in his face? That had a lot to do with his philosophy of fighting. He believed that the more relaxed you are, the better your reflexes will catch up. Because if you're too tense in a fight, it's gonna be very difficult to actually have the skill to perform. And you're gonna be wasted before you even throw a bunch of kicks. So this kick is great because you gotta have a lot of strength in your hip flexors and your abs in order to lift that leg up straight. So it begins, it's called an inside crescent kick. So it begins 45 degrees to the outside and it finishes 45 degrees to the inside, like a fan. Also, your support foot can't be facing forward. It has to be a little bit on the outside for you to get this range of motion. So from here, the more relaxed you are, the better the kick will be. So I'll try to do fast. One more. Whew. Not even close.
Dragon whips his tail.
As you can see with most Bruce Lee movies, he could use either the right or the left leg to kick, and very beautifully as well. However, it did seem like the wheel kick, the left leg was his preference. Maybe because he came from an inside crescent kick a lot of the times and then wheel kick, or a roundhouse kick to the wheel kick, or just because his right leg was very strong in doing this spinning motion that you have to do in order to do this wheel kick. He usually kept his leg extended and used a lot of hip power, hip extension. So that requires a lot of glutes, oh yeah, and a lot of obliques in order to kick the opponent, usually taller. I need a human being. Don't worry, I'm gonna cover your hospital bills. Let's go, 3, 2, 1. Good, good kick. Ambulance! The next one should hold no secrets. It's Bruce Lee's trademark, that mule kick against that guy with the karate gi in the backyard, right? Where he went against all those boxes. Ooh, that must have hurt. So this kick is an absolute thing of beauty. It's poetry and motion. And the way he did it, probably he learned it in a very traditional way, like I did with Kung Fu, you know, with traditional wushu, in which we did something like this, and then opening up to do that beautiful side kick, which really throws you a straight line once you see me sideways. Instead of being closed or too open, I'm gonna be in a straight line towards my target. Also, instead of going backwards or in the front with a support leg, I'm gonna go take the place of the other one with my toes facing to the opposite direction of my target. So from here, a jump and then pa, okay? Once again, 3, 2, 1. Not even close. Oh. I need a human being. Alex! Now, one thing that Bruce Lee was a master at also was fakes. You know, like for example, if you're boxing and you throw jabs, 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 jab cross, you know, like you pretend that you're gonna do something, then you're gonna do something else. Always playing with a factor of surprise. He would do that with his legs. So remember, against either Bob Wall or Chuck Norris, let's start with Bob Wall. He did something like front, front, and then front or fake front, and then a roundhouse. So something like this, boom, but much faster. Check it out. So the fourth best kick, I would have to say roundhouse, because it would come from a position, a difficult position, and throw the roundhouse after a fake. So what he did against Chuck Norris was an oblique kick, and from the oblique kick, boom, roundhouse as well, which is very difficult to do. So yeah, that was what I was trying to do with this balloon. The balloon is a little empty, that's why I didn't touch it. This jump front kick was a kick that Bruce Lee performed in the Marlowe movie with his buddy James Garner, actually his student James Garner, which a lot of people haven't seen because it wasn't one of those in which Bruce Lee played the main character, obviously. It's very difficult to do, very demanding on your shooting or on your jumping up leg. What do you call it? On your takeoff leg, It's very demanding. These are my fave 5. Obviously, I took out some of them, which is, for example, the jumping side kick that he does so well, lifting his knee quite high, and his foot, his support foot is really closing this angle here. It's very beautiful, and he does it very well on the Enter the Dragon movie. Besides, his sidekick is very in line and not one of those that look mostly like a front kick, like a lot of people do. And the other one would be the backflip with a kick, which I know that a lot of people are going to talk about that one, but it wasn't performed by Bruce Lee. It was performed by his stunt double, because Bruce Lee was not an acrobat, called Yun Hua, who was a colleague of Peking Opera School with Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung and Yun Biao. And he was an amazing acrobat that did the first round off backhand spring backflip in the beginning of Enter the Dragon, before his fight with, or after his fight with Sammo Hung. I want to thank you guys for keeping me happy with the comments and keeping me happy with the likes. We all need those likes to keep going, and tell me what you would like to see next, either Bruce Lee, martial arts, fitness in our channel. Keep me posted, and once more.